Welcome back to Inside the Festival with Dahlia from Bahamas Carnival Guide and Africa Allah.
Woohoo!
We're here.
Wow, this is it. We are right up on it. It's about time for us to get ready to actually go inside the festival for 6 days? We're going to be in Nassau, Bahamas, just partying it up nonstop. And then you guys get to see our beautiful faces on the screen for Inside the Festival's video series.
I didn't know I was required to be on camera, Africa.
Well, we discussed this. Remember, we talked about. You're acting brand new. What are you talking about?
I mean, people are gonna
audio and not host the video.
I guess I can. I mean, I will do it, of course, and people will see me. But see, last year I had the power of anonymity. They didn't know who I was.
But you're so good at this.
Yeah,
we'll see. So good at this.
Thank you. I appreciate the compliment.
Now, we're getting into the weekend, but before we get into the weekend, there's a couple things happening in Nassau, Bahamas, right? May 30th, we will be inside the festival. We're going to Montague Bay for the Down Home Fish Fry featuring Bahamian artist KB. I think they got Johnny Cake, Blotty, and a whole bunch of other artists are going to be in. Oh yeah, Gino D. It's just going to be a great down home feeling, and they're supporting the weekend, so we're going to go ahead and support. Of course, we're going to support the local Bahamian artists and check out some of the vibes before we get into the weekend. All right. There's
Definitely.
Also an event happening on the 31st. So the 31st is Lush.
31st is Lush. Yep.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about Lush, because you've been on that before, right?
I have been on that before. So it is a night cooler cruise, kind of like a sunset vibe. And then it is a cooler fete, so you can bring your cooler on board. I think the only rule is no glass bottles. They also have, last year there was a bar and they had some food for sale on the boat. And it was nice. I had fun at Lush last year.
So these are going to be the events that we're going to pop out at. We're going to pop out because this is going to be our rest before we really have to get moving, right? This is before we really start working. So
you mean I haven't been working all this time?
No. Not like you work the week of.
Of course, I know.
When June 2nd hits, it's a wrap for you. Like you're boom, 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 boom. I got to get this. I got to do this. It's organization, logistics, meeting with your sponsors, making sure that everything is what it is, getting your liquor, all of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people don't see that part of the work. They only see the fruits of the labor, but they don't see the labor.
Yeah.
So the 30th through the 1st, we're turning up. On the 1st, big up to my homegirl, Giselle Lawasi, One and Eternal Vibes. They will be in the Bahamas for Soca versus Dancehall. Our regular contenders will be in the building. DJ Fresh, Bravo, Buddy, like I said, Vibes, and Giselle Lawasi One. And they're going to be going against 1K, Pusha, Lil Giant.
People like controversy. People like a little push, a little give and take.
Right.
Push and shove.
So that is the first, and that will be held by King Alpha Sounds. I think it's going to be held at Breezes. I don't know if it's on the beach or inside their vicinities, but it's going to be over at Breezes. So for more details and information, I guess you can check out Alpha Sounds Instagram. So yeah, I'll be in the building supporting my friend M. And then we get into the week that we've all been waiting for. It is Bahamas Carnival Fete Weekend. Officially Bahamas Carnival Fete Weekend. No other name makes sense.
Yeah, so we kick off with the link up, the Soca link up, which is also our Juve package pickup. And so you come to pick up your Juve package. More information on all the details will come out as we get closer to. For everybody who's bought a package, there's still time to get a package. If you're looking to do that, we sell packages really kind of up to the date, but that first June 4th is the Soca link up. It is a really nice party. It's free to enter. Don't need, to pay anything at the door. And there's always surprises. We've been doing the Soca Link Up now for a couple of years, and people always show up. You never know who you can expect because most people have landed or have come in and they're looking for somewhere to go. So we've had some special guests in the past. It's always a surprise to see what's going to happen. And you have to come get your package anyways. You might as well stay for a drink or 4.
Well, the link up is like a test run, right? It's like, okay, I don't know if I really want to do this weekend, but wait, hold on, let me go to the link up. And most of the times people find their crew for the weekend at those first few parties. Right? If you don't find your people at the link up, you find them on the road to Juve. And if you don't make it to and everybody should be here by the Thursday if they really want to experience the Bahamas. And I say this emphatically, if you have not booked your ticket to come to the Bahamas to make it for the Thursday, make sure that 2026 you don't miss it. The good thing about the Juve is it starts at night, so you can catch the last flight in on that Thursday, which if you were flying in for Friday, it's the same premise. So you can catch that last flight in and make it to Juve. All right.
Yeah. And we do a second day of distribution on Thursday just before the event starts, a little bit earlier than the day before. But, of course, if you're landing after the pickup is over, let me know because I have dropped off packages at hotels at reception, or I can have them at the door for you and you can pick it up when you arrive. But yeah, Duddy Crew Juve is Thursday evening. We kick off with the pre-party at 9 p.m. and that's when it really kicks off. That's the official kickoff to Bahamas Carnival Vet Weekend. It has been now. This is our 5th year and we are looking forward to having everybody. I think it's going to be another great year, another great event, lots of vibes. That's one thing that Duddy Crew, I was watching footage the other night of some of our past, I call them shenanigans because really that's what it is, but it's just a vibe. If you've been around the Duddy Crew, if you've been to any of our events, any of our Juves, you know what to expect and we will deliver.
Yeah, definitely. This year is the Dutty Time Machine. And I was sitting here packing my bag, getting it together, and I was like, what am I going to wear for the Dutty Cruise, Dutty Time Machine? Because now that I know that it's a theme thing, I'm like, I'm not just going to wear my uniform. Of course, I have my uniform, right? So I found this like Madonna-ish type of netted skirt. I was like, yes. I'm going to wear this fishnet gloves and tie my hair up in a bow with a big bow. Yeah.
Love that. Yeah, somebody asked me, they're like, what decade or what are we doing? And I said, the sky's the limit. Think of, what era would you travel back to if you had a time machine? Or would you go forward into the future, right?
I would love to see some of that.
Yeah, think robots, think lights, think, futuristic. You can also go back to your favorite era. Like I've mentioned this before, but I would love to go back to the 70s and be as an adult or as a young adult and be in the 70s because that is a hill I will die on. I think that was the best era for music of all genres.
So what would you do? What would your look be if you were doing the 70s, or are you doing the 70s?
So I lean, costume-wise, I lean to the 80s. Okay. Neon tights, a side pony, some high-top sneakers. I lean to the 80s. But if I was doing 70s, maybe an afro of some kind, an afro wig, because that'll also protect your hair. Right. Some big sunglasses, or maybe like even the late 60s, some hippie fringe, I call them my Elton John sunglasses, little round ones. Yeah, peace and love, flower power.
Thursday is the Dutty Time Machine by Dutty Crew Juve. Like I said, it's always a great time. If you haven't purchased your tickets at this point, do you guys have late entry tickets?
So you can always check our website to see what's available online. We always reserve some packages for cash purchase at distribution, but that is on a first come, first serve. And once they are sold out, that is it. You can get in touch with us to see what's available, what we have. Check the website to see if there's anything available online. If you do miss out, I'm sorry. Maybe do better in 2026. I don't know. But we will. We always try to have some extras at the door because we know sometimes people show up or people are in town for a holiday in the Bahamas not knowing it was Carnival, and they end up at our event and get turned out by Daddy Crew.
Right.
So we always have some. You can always check with us. Yeah.
So
we'll do our best.
There's a limited amount, so first come, first serve basis. If you don't make it to the Daddy Crew Juve, just know that the videos will be online and you can, live vicariously through our timeline, our TikToks and our Instagrams.
Absolutely.
So Friday morning, we get up after the Daddy Crew Juve. We're heading over to Just a Lime, and that will be at Flamingo's Bar and Lounge, the same place where the Soca Link Up will be happening. So, you're familiar with the space. That is a breakfast part. That is a kickback, but it's more of a liquid breakfast than anything.
Just what we need.
I mean, hey. The best way to get over a hangover is to keep drinking. So it's more of a liquid breakfast. We do have a curated menu, and that features the most popular dishes from the last year. The dishes that ate the most. We are doing a 32-ounce edition. So big mimosas, big margaritas, big rum buckets. And then we have a special Douce breakfast drink called B-Team. Again, 32 ounce. Those are all refillable with their 32 ounce package. 32 ounce packages are already sold out. You will not be able to get those at the door, but you can purchase the 32 ounce drinks at the bar, but you will not be able to participate in the refillable option for the 32 ounce edition if you hadn't got it already. Tickets are available. Everything is digital. There is no cash transaction, so you can purchase it online. Tickets will never be more than $20. If you miss the early bird sales, I'm sorry, but it's the week of. Tickets are $20. All right?
Yeah,
and we play games. Games.
I was there last year, not for the whole thing, because I had to manage the family. I've talked about them before on this podcast, but we had to eat. We had to have some breakfast because we had to, get fueled up for the rest of the day. So we went and we ate, we had a drink, we chilled for a little bit, and then we headed back to our Airbnb. But it is a great way to start off your Friday, and it's a holiday in the Bahamas. So what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?
It's a holiday. It's a holiday. And after that, and of course throughout the entire day, we're telling everybody after the party continues at La Vie. We head over to La Vie for the premium all-inclusive. I believe the tickets are now at $120 or $110. After tax is about $120. It is an excellent event. Food, drinks, entertainment, and just a great atmosphere, great vibes, great people. Again, all you can eat. So if you don't drink, or if you've been drinking and you need to sober up, because this is the time that you can, fill your belly, come on out to La Vie Premium All Inclusive. They have a wonderful array of dishes. And Dahlia, you can speak more to that.
Yeah. Every year, it's a surprise, right? The catering is done by Blue Plate Catering. I know Chef Ozzy personally, and nothing that he's ever cooked has tasted bad to me. You're always in for a surprise. There's a few favorites that come back every year. There's a famous pig roast, but he always does a really good job at having a variety of items. If you have any dietary restrictions, they always have a very inclusive menu. I've mentioned this before too. I was vegan for a long time. Now I'm back to the dark side. But anyways, and I never had an issue finding enough food to eat. And they have the food out, and they always have a late night late night eats that come out, later on in the evening as well, that are, they even have little boxes for you to take it home with you if you aren't hungry anymore. But you always need something to eat after
To go?
the drinking. Yeah, you can take I think last year they had like fried chicken and fries, and you could take it with you.
It's called chicken in the bag. It's called chicken in the bag.
Chicken in the bag. There you go.
Yeah.
I think souse too. They have souse at night. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
Well,
again,
this
is
my first time going.
Okay.
I'm embarrassed to say that. Every year is something. I think the first time that we were planning to go, it rained out. It was like monsoon rain. And then
yeah, they had to push the start time that year. I remember Dante was stressed.
Right.
I was staying with him that year, and I called him and I said, do you need anything? He's like, I need food, because he had been setting up all day and, stressing about the rain.
Right.
So Guion and I went to pick him up some food and met him at home so he could eat, right, something before the event. And then Guion and I went to get ready, and he went back to finish setup and doing all the things they have to do. And but the party must go on.
Well, yeah, you guys really made that happen.
But anyways.
But that it's just like you say, the show must go on. This year is going to be a wonderful experience. We are going to be out there, enjoy the food. Dahlia is actually going to be on camera telling everybody about everything. And she's going to take a tour of all of the foods tasted for you and with you. And
wow. I'm excited.
First-hand experience. Well, Dahlia, you would have to do that because I can't eat anything. So, I nominate you to do that. 'Cause I've always wanted to do that, like taste food on camera and be like, and just like, oh, the flavors are dancing in my tongue. And like, I always wanted to do that. I can't do that.
I always wanted to be a food critic.
So there you go.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm excited for that. I'm looking forward to Levy. I do every year. I was looking at some footage, like I said the other night, and it's just I've loved seeing the evolution of Levy into what it is now. So I'm looking forward to that very much. But after Levy, if and here's the thing about Friday, that is there's a little bit of something for everybody.
Right.
Because if you want to attend all events, you absolutely can. But if that is not your vibe, the other option, and where we would head after Levy, is CO Entertainment's Hello Moving Cruise, which has been a staple for many, many years of Bahamas Carnival. It is a tried, tested, and recommended event for people looking for fun. I think that's how I would describe that cruise. It is vibes on vibes on vibes. And tickets are, I think, on sale. Even at the door, you can get tickets as long as there's
space on the boat.
There's space, yeah, because it's on a boat. They can't pack people in.
Capacity. Listen, I suggest that however early you get to the island, or if you are getting ready to pack your bags, as you listen to this, you need to go ahead and see if tickets are still available, because it is a great experience. And if you do not have a cooler, don't worry about it. You can actually purchase the drink inclusive package that allows you to just come on the boat and drink.
Mm-hmm.
Drink until your heart is content.
And if you're coming from La Vie and already feeling sufficiently sauced up, there's also a cash bar, so you can just purchase what you need to carry you to the end of the night.
Exactly.
There's lots of options on Hello Moving Cooler Cruise.
Last year, I think the people that we met on the cruise, well, by the time we got to the cruise, we had already found our crew, right? They moved with us from event to event to event. Some of them even attended La Vie and then met us at the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And they ended up being the people that we hung out with for the entire weekend. They were our road buddies. They were the people that were on waves with us. We hung out, went to the beach. Like I said, you can come there by yourself, but by the time the weekend ends, you have a whole team of people that are now family. Saturday morning is the road. Now I say Saturday morning loosely, right?
Yeah, this is Bahamian time, Saturday morning.
But if you want to park your car, if you want to know how if you want to park your car, if you want to get a space, if you want to make sure that you meet up with your people, that you're in the right space, because all of the bands provide breakfast, some sort of breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
They ask you to be out there by 9 o'clock. I don't even know what time we really leave, but they do ask you to be out there by 9 o'clock, and that's organizing, making sure, getting the trucks to the spot, getting on the road, linking up with your team, making sure that your makeup is done. There's so much things to do for the road. This year, I said before that this was going to be my first year in costume, but then I ended up looking at the last 10 years of footage, or it's actually 7 years minus the 3 years for COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up looking at the last 7 years of footage. And I realized that I've worn a costume at least 4 times. So this is not my first time being in costume. I was like, oh, I forgot about the costume. Oh, yeah, I wore the brown one. Okay, so yeah, it's not the first time, but it's the first time me not having my gear. Like, I wear costumes, but I'm always working. This is the first time that I'm officially putting down my cameras and I'm allowing my guys to capture the moments. And I'm going to be on the road. Dante is in charge of my vibes for the day. I'm going to turn up and turn out as much as I can.
I'm looking forward to seeing you without your gear in party mode on the road, Africa.
That is Aftermath.
Yes.
And we're heading back over to Flamingos. Flamingos seems to be the spot for the weekend. It is the hub location.
Can I, do you know the story with Flamingos and how we ended up there?
No, tell me.
So in 2023, Duddy Crew we always used to throw an event leading up to Bahamas Carnival for people to buy tickets and just, get the vibes going. And we had it scheduled at a different venue, but due to some unforeseen circumstances, the venue was no longer available. So we had to pivot very last minute to find a different venue to host this event. And one of our Duddy Crew owners, I don't know if he was driving past or had been in there before, but thought of Flamingos and went in to talk to Mali and Q, who are the owners there, and pitched the idea of having the event at Flamingos. And they agreed. So we moved the event to Flamingos, and it was so successful for us and for them that they jumped on as an official sponsor of Duddy Crew Juve that year. And they have been so supportive of Duddy Crew, of world-class events, of, from then that it really has become the carnival hub. We call it our hub. We enjoy working with Mali and Q. We enjoy supporting their venue. If I'm in town, you can guarantee at least one night at Flamingos with me. With Bahamian Bistro, which is attached to Flamingos, it's a great spot for food, for lunch, for dinner. It was a happy little accident, as Bob Ross would say, and they have been amazing.
Well, they are definitely a gem, and like you said, it has become the hub location for Bahamas Carnival Fete weekend. Three of the 9 events will be hosted at their location. So that is going to be an amazing weekend with them, and you know what you're getting, all right?
Yep.
Not only can you trust the spot for providing the type of libations that you enjoy, but you know that the DJs are trusted, the people that are going to be there have a certain vibe, adds to the ambiance of the experience.
Absolutely.
Aftermath, you went there last year.
I
normally can't get up after, and This is usually because I'm working during carnival, running up and down the street, getting all of the bands. This year, I'm just going to be winding up myself, and hopefully, I will be able to make it to, well, not even hopefully, I have to make it to after Mass, because working with Bahamas Carnival Fete weekend, it is my goal to make it to every single event, even if I just passing through. And to say that, artists usually pass through.
Because, well, and this is what happens with Soca Link Up and what happens with Aftermath. You never know who's going to show up, because again, everybody's either you've gone home and caught yourself and are ready for more, or maybe you didn't play Mass and you're ready for, you were out as a spectator, during the day, and we're not ready to go home and go to sleep. So after Mass is the spot, and I had a great time last year. It was, because again, I'm comfortable at Flamingos. We know what to expect. The location is great, right downtown, and so it was a whole mood at After Mass last year.
After Mass, and then we wake up in the morning and we head over to Waves. Now, they've given you a little more time to get yourself together, catch yourself, go ahead and get you something to eat, and then head over there. I suggest make sure, we'll talk about what you need to have, right? Because all of these events require a certain type of attire and making sure that you have certain things. 12 noon, we're boarding. 2 p.m., we're leaving. That's hard. We're leaving. We might leave it at 1:45. Once you see that little thing flap over, it's a wrap. There's no jumping on the boat, no catching up, none of that. I suggest you get there at 12 noon, get on the boat so that you don't be the one standing on the opposite end when the boat pulls off.
Yeah, because we'll just wave at you from Waves. Wave at you on the dock. Bye. See you in 4 hours.
And this is a water and foam party. So of course, swimwear attire or beach attire is welcome. Don't bring out your Jordans. This is a flip-flop. Yeah, this is a flip-flop and sandals type of thing. If you have beach shoes or what is it? The clogs. I like support. I like cushion under my feet. So yeah.
This is a good place to reuse your Juve shoes as well.
Yes. So if you had some Juve shoes, yes.
Yeah, because I've worn sandals to this before and I regretted it. And only because if you've ever been to a foam party, that foam it's soap. And so all of a sudden I was slipping and sliding in my slippers and I had to take them off, but then the floor was too hot. So I was like I put them on and then I would take them off and then I would put them on and then I would take them off. So, and then I was trying to get off the boat and you have to go down the little ramp, but my shoes were so slippery that I had to take them off and hold on to my friend. So if you have an old pair of sneakers or a pair of, something with a little bit more support, but that you don't mind getting wet, that's a good shoe option for that party.
I suggest anything that have grip, because them floors they're slick, and with the water, like she said, with the water.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But it is a vibe. Outside of, you don't want your shoe options to make you miserable. Outside of that, it is a vibe. It is a good time. And while it may be hot, just remember we are in the Bahamas and we can't do nothing about what God decides to make the temperature. But on the inside, we got the alcohol. There's food on sale. There's liquor on sale as well. This is a cash bar. And if you don't need any of that, then, we got music. We got a great lineup of DJs for this year. It's going to be amazing. After we leave there, we're heading to Last Wine. Now, you could go back to your hotel, change your clothes, get sexy for the evening, come on out and just catch a little piece of wine, okay?
Yeah, and this year we moved the event location to the beach soccer stadium.
So we on the beach?
We're not on the beach.
Oh.
It's the stadium. It's for beach soccer. We're not actually in the beach soccer area. We're on the grassy part. Okay. But the reason we moved this is because if you are like me, where you don't mind doing a quick outfit change in your car, because I've done that before. You can, where the dock is for waves and the beach soccer
Oh yeah, it's
stadium
right
is
there.
walkable. Yeah. You can, if you have a car, you can
You
move
don't
your
even
car
have to
over.
move your car. You could just,
But
yeah.
yeah, but you can, it's definitely walkable, so it's right there. And it's a drinks inclusive party. So your ticket will get you drinks. There will be food for sale on site, provided by Blue Plate Catering again. Last year, I'm still thinking about the food from last year. Very reasonably priced, very delicious, and it's your, it's a vibe. It is. The music will be great. The DJ lineup is great. We have DJ Gel and Freeze International, as well as our favorite local DJs. And it's just a chance, at least for us, the promoters, to kick back and relax a little bit and to enjoy some time with our friends, because we don't get to do that for the whole weekend until everything is sort of wrapped up. So this is that opportunity. Last year was our first year hosting this event. This is our second year. We're hoping for bigger and better. And it was fun last year. I'm excited to be back to Last Wine.
I'm excited. Listen, first of all, Last Wine on the beach. I don't care. I don't care if it ain't right there on the beach. We can smell the ocean breeze.
Well,
I
you can
love
see, you can
anything.
definitely see the water. Yeah.
Yeah, I love anything that has a little ocean to it. Especially on the island, because
Yeah.
it just gives you that authentic island feel. Like, it's nothing like a Last Wine with the ocean breeze blowing and you can smell the salt water. I don't care. Like, I think, like, me thinking about it, I'm just romanticizing it, because I'm just like, oh yes. And like you said, this is an opportunity for us to kick back and enjoy ourselves, right? Now that we've gotten all of that out of the way, there's some things that we need you to have when you're coming to the Bahamas. Do not get to the airport and think that you can travel on your birth certificate or your local ID. You need to have a passport to go to the Bahamas. That reminds me of a year I brought somebody down to the Bahamas, and they were working for Vibe magazine. Now you would think that a journalist working for Vibe magazine has a passport, right? They ended up having to go back home to get their birth certificate, only to get back to the airport and find out that they couldn't travel to the Bahamas because they needed a passport.
Oh, wow.
And this is a journalist. Like, I was like, if you're a journalist, you don't know that you need a passport. But anyway, so you need a passport to go to the Bahamas. Bahamas is a passport country. We have U.S. customs in the Bahamas. So once you clear customs, you don't have to go through customs again coming back, right? While most of your events are going to be drink inclusive, you still need to carry cash for your food options, because we have yet to get on a cashless system in the Bahamas. So to be safe, if you would like to eat, make sure that you have cash, especially if you're supporting the local vendors at the fish fry and other restaurants. Most restaurants have credit card things, but you want to make sure that you have cash on you. Just bring cash.
Well, and you never know. I mean, if you need to catch a ride, if you need to stop at the gas station for some water, if you need, it's just best to have a little bit of cash on hand.
Right. And speaking of water, it's going to be the summer. It's the summer, okay? Now it's going to be the summer. We are heading into the summer. This is the last of the spring. We're heading into the summer. June is officially summertime. So it's hot. Now, our 80 degrees is not New York 80 degrees or Canada. What is that, 16 or something? It's not the same 80 degrees that you experience in the US or Canada. It is hot.
Yeah, that sun is no joke.
And while we are on the ocean, while we are on the ocean and we have the ocean breeze, I still, well, the salt will dry you up. So I suggest that you make sure that you stay hydrated throughout your experience. Yes, enjoy the libations that are provided at all of the events, but make sure that you're drinking water. At least, drink 4 to 6 to 8 cups of water a day. To liter bottles, a liter bottle, a 1 liter bottle. Get a liter bottle a day. That'll do well for you. You know what I mean? But make sure that you're drinking, because we do not you do not want to pass out in the Bahamas. You do not want to go to the hospital in the Bahamas. Drink water. Drink water. And when you're on the road, pace yourself. Not just the road, at the parties. If you find yourself consuming alcohol, make sure that you're drinking at least 1 cup of water for every 3 cups of alcohol that you drink.
Yeah, it's really important because you don't want dehydration to cut your night short. You don't want dehydration to put you in the hospital with sunstroke and heat exhaustion. It's really important to stay hydrated, drink some water, drink some coconut water, take a little break from the alcohol to make sure that you are going to continue to enjoy the event, right? Because there's nothing worse than having to leave an event early because somebody in your crew is down and out.
Right.
And so, yeah, drink water, bring sunscreen. That's a big one, at least for us light skinned folks.
No, no, everybody, everybody. Every year that I go to the Bahamas, every year that I go to the Bahamas, I come back a couple shades darker. I don't notice it because I just think I'm black. Apparently, I'm not as black as I think I am. Um, but when you know that you've gotten burnt, when you take that shower and your whole body feels like it's like, oh, somebody touched you and you could fry an egg on your body. Yeah. So I've had that experience
Yeah.
before, and I did, and for real, I had no idea that I didn't even know that black people got sunburned until I did. So yeah, you want to make sure you want to make sure that no, seriously, you want to make sure that you have you want to make sure that you have sunscreen, and that you are protecting yourself
Yeah.
from the sun rays, because the sun that we have now is not the same sun that we had back in the days. Not even like 10 years ago. This is not the same sun from 10 years ago, I could tell you.
No, and again, like if you've ever had a bad sunburn, it will put a damper on your weekend. It will, because you don't want to go back out to the sun immediately the next day. And so pace really applies to all things. Sun
Right.
protection, hydration, libations, even your food. Make sure you're eating enough. Check in with
Yes.
yourself. Like, have I fueled my body? Because you have to. It's not a sprint here. It is 6 days of go, 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 nonstop action.
Yeah, you definitely want to get some food. And what are some of your favorite places to eat in the Bahamas, Dahlia?
The fish fry is always a good option because you have so many options, right? There is all of the stalls or the restaurants at the fish fry have a variety of menu items from local Bahamian to, burgers and fries. So whatever your taste, whatever you're comfortable with, they'll have it. There's also I love a conch salad. So at the fry, you can, get conch salad in several different places.
Mm.
So that's always a really great spot to hit if you have a little bit of downtime, you're looking for something to eat. Trying to think. Flamingos is a great option with Bahamian Bistro, and they have some different days they have specials. So depending on when, how long you're in the Bahamas for, because, some people come for longer than just the Bahamas Carnival Fat Weekend days. So that's a great place. The food is delicious there. Trying to think where else I normally eat.
Yeah.
Bars will have menus, right? Where you can, you know, you get sort of what we consider to be like pub food here in Canada, but like, chicken wings and fries and and things like that. There's lots of different restaurants. And when you come to Sokalinkup and you meet your crew, there's lots of places that we can recommend depending on what you're feeling.
Exactly. Now, one of the first places that I go when I come off the plane, fresh off the plane, I head over to Gambia, which is right down the street from the airport. It's heading further west and it's near Compass Point. That is the famous recording studio where Michael Jackson, Lionel Richie, and so many other people have recorded. I go to Dino's and I go ahead and get me a Scotch conch with plenty pepper. And if you have never experienced the Bahamas conch and conch salad or Scotch conch, this is definitely a place that you would want to go. They do it fresh. He pulls the conch straight out of the ocean right across the street. And side note, I grew up, well, I didn't grow up, but I lived in Gambia for the early part of my pubescent life, right? I remember going to the beach and just watching them make the fish and the conch salad and stuff like that. So this is a wonderful experience, really authentic. And you can have your coca lick, try our native beer. And that's my favorite location straight off the plane. That gives me my first Bahamian fix. Then morning time every day. I get up as early as possible. I think the cricket club opens at 7. By 7:30, I am at their door getting my stew conch, stew fish, or boiled fish option for the day because ain't nothing like some stew fish in the morning, okay? And oh, that is freaking amazing. And it's one of the best meals you'll have for under $20. I think that's it. Oh yeah. And then my favorite bagged food or fast food is Bamboo Shack. I hope they have conch when I'm on the island cuz last year I didn't get a conch.
Bamboo Shack is a great option for like an on the go option, right? It's beloved Bahamian sort of fast food option, and it's a very authentic experience.
Well,
And they
I'm
have lots of
talking about
options on there.
authentic things, not yes, they have conch burger, conch crack. My friend was like, "Why is everything a conch?" It's like y'all don't have burgers. Oh my god, my homeboy came. He was from Brooklyn. He was like, "It's like what is a conch? Y'all keep trying to give me conch. I just want a burger." I was like, "You can have a conch burger." He's like, "I don't want no more damn conch." Uh, but no, yeah. So when I'm talking about the authentic things. My sister is Bahamian by default, but she had never been to the Bahamas. And she went for the first time in 2023. She came for 2023 Carnival. And the event that I had, we had tuna fish and grits for our breakfast option, right? And she was like, "All these years, you've never made me this?" And I was like, "You never had." But for me, I feel like tuna and grits is poor people food, but it is an authentic. It's like fire engine. Like we eat it in the Bahamas, but I'm not gonna sit there and eat that in America. First of all, um, corned beef in America is gourmet. Okay, it's like $7 for a can. That doesn't make any sense. So I'm definitely not making that at home. But tuna and grits, I was like, I eat tuna. I don't know because I eat shrimp and grits in America. Like she'd never had tuna and grits, and that's like a Bahamian thing. Tuna and
Yeah.
grits, sausage and grits. Like they put sausage in. I don't know what kind of sauce it is, but it's like a red sauce, and they love that. So if you want, and they have those like breakfast. I don't know. It used to be $2. I'm sure with everything that's going on, it's probably like $5 now, right? But it's definitely a cost effective meal under under 20. You can have a nice meal. And one thing about Bahamians, they're generous with their servings.
Hmm.
You're not getting Michelin star portions. You're getting somebody grandmother taking out a plate.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about that. But those are food options. Those are things that you can get. Late night in the Bahamas. Late night in the Bahamas, if you're looking for food, the best place to go is to the Shell gas station over on Tonique Boulevard Highway.
Yep.
I know it sounds crazy, but yes, the gas station has the best food, especially after effect.
Hmm.
Because we're ending these events at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's the only places that are going to be open are the gas stations. And like I said, if you are looking for an authentic Bahamian experience, you can get chicken sauce. I think they have the sausage and grits, etc. You can go right to the Shell gas station on Tonic Boulevard over there by the Sir Marlowe Butler Highway. Other than that, it's the six-legged roundabout,
Yeah.
and they have like fried chicken options.
Yeah, fried chicken, chicken fingers, wedges, even hot dogs sometimes. And then they have the hot foods like the Bahamian hot food options. They even have curry sometimes. Just depends which gas station, depends, what they've got on the menu, but there's definitely something there for everybody. And I can tell you some of my fondest memories have been gas station hangouts while we wait for our food. And it's after COVID, they took away like all the tables because you used to be able to sit in there and eat, but now you just have to take it with you. But while you wait, it's always a great place.
So those are the options. Those are options. Speaking of which, if you are not driving and you need transportation, Henny's Transporters are providing a weekend package for Bahamas Carnival Fete weekend. Um, you can get more details and information by visiting Henny's Transporters on IG or TikTok. They'll have information to their package options. But they have a package that picks you up from the airport, returns you back to the airport, drops you off at the airport, and they also take you back and forth to all of the Bahamas Carnival Fete weekend events. So if you're doing every event, you can go with them and they will make sure that you get to every event, that you get home safely, and that you and if you need to eat, they will make sure that you go someplace on the way to get something to eat. All right. So they are like this concierge service for the weekend that will make sure that you are safe and you enjoy yourself.
And it's important, I think, to note that transportation in the Bahamas is not as readily available as it is in Canada and the US, especially late at night. They
Right.
do have taxi service, which is costly, but
Well,
they really cater to people coming off the cruise ships. And if you have a direct contact with somebody who has a taxi where you prearrange, especially the late night pickups, but somebody like Henny is available on a event by event basis. But then now this year he's offering this fantastic package that I think is um, a really great option if you don't want to be responsible for renting a car, driving yourself to and from, but also to make sure you have a ride home. Because I've seen it happen where people are, especially at 3 a.m., there's no taxi you can call.
right. And this is not like America where we have Uber or
Hmm.
Lyft. This is actually our rideshare option. So we're providing this service, or I should say our partner is providing this service, and they came up with a weekend rate. Additionally, if you're not attending all of the activities, they can provide a personalized package to suit your needs.
Yeah.
So if you want to do tours or you want to go to the beach, whatever it is, they can accommodate that for you. Again, visit Henny's Transporters on IG or TikTok for more details and information. Have we gotten through everything? We talked about everything. What is the dress codes for these events? Because people need to know what they need to put in their bag. We did tell people to make sure that they had shoes for waves, but what else do they need? And how many of these things do they need?
So, is there a dress code for any event? No. The real and easy answer is no. There is nothing, that says you must wear this. If you wear this, you won't be allowed in. It's not, we don't have any of that. My advice to people is wear the things that make you feel good. Wear things that are weather appropriate. So it will be hot. You don't want to wear, your long pants and long sleeve shirt. But yeah, pick the things that make you feel good and make you feel best. Now, for Juve, for example, you don't want to bring your Sunday best because it will get painted up, and you don't want to be worrying about, being able to get out stains. You do get a t-shirt with your package, so you can absolutely wear that, and a pair of shorts. It is themed, so you can go all out with the theme. Otherwise, think about beachwear, think about colors and florals and breathable materials. I like I said, I've changed in my car. I've changed in the back behind a car, just to give myself a fresh look for the next party without having to run home. I'm probably actually the worst person to ask about this because I don't go all out, like some people, but people do. Some people go all the way out, and I like to be comfortable. I like to dress, for what makes me feel good, and things that I don't have to worry. I said to my crew last year, I said, if you get picked up and you're whining on somebody, make sure that you don't need to be worrying about popping out somewhere. So that's always, I'm like, I bend down, I look, I squat, I do all the things. And I'm like, okay, this is squat proof. This is bend over proof. This is get picked up by one of my friends proof.
I
And that's
never
kind of
thought
how I
about that.
gauge.
I know.
Yeah. Because I've seen it all. I've seen wardrobe malfunctions
Oh,
happen.
yeah, I seen
And so
somebody
you,
boom boom just pop out a thing. I was like, oh,
exactly.
okay.
So, I said to the girls, I'm like, do a check in the front of the mirror, bend over all the way over, and see if you can see anything. If it passes a test, then you're probably good to go.
That's why I asked them to give me big drawers for my costume. I was like, big drawers, please. Because I saw them, I saw that outfit. I said, no, no. My husband was like, where are you going in that? I said, baby, you met me at Carnival. What is wrong with you? Like, you met me at Carnival. Now you want to check my drawers, but I wasn't going out in them panties. I said, no, 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 no. That too high. But
Yeah, and some of those costumes, I'm like, where is all of the bits? Where are they all gonna go? Because that's just gonna fit the one side. But that's a good thing about, at least with masqueraders, there's lots of options, so you have your choice, whatever you're most comfortable in. But the thing about carnival is that it's such a freeing experience, whether you're on the road, whether you're at a fete. Nobody's checking for you for what you're wearing. Nobody cares. Everyone's having a good time.
that's the beautiful thing about it is the freedom and the euphoria of it all that makes it so memorable. And I as I get up in age, I start to appreciate the moments. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
The moments, because looking back at some of the footage the last 7 years of Bahamas Carnival, there are people that are in those reels that are no longer here, and they were relatively young.
Hmm.
Either COVID took them or misfortune happened. And so we really have to take these moments because we don't know if these are the last set of moments that people will have with us. And I know I don't want to sound like, oh, we don't know. We don't know what's going the world is changing. A lot of things are happening. This may just be the last hoorah. Take every moment. Don't take anything for granted and take every moment in. Live in the moment and stop trying to capture it. Let the people that are paid to capture it, and you just experience that moment. Live in that freedom.
Yeah, such an important thing because it's easy to get caught up and it's easy to, to forget that every moment really is precious, and I'm here for the experience of it all. And it's hard to really experience it when you're worried about, your outfit, worried about what people are going to say, worried about, your phone, standing on the side, capturing what people are doing rather than experiencing it yourself. And I really try to live in the moment as much as possible, like you said. So if you see me, no, you didn't. If you see me, mind your business.
Mind your
Because
funky business.
yeah, because I am in my moment,
Right, right.
enjoying myself.
Right. So that is Bahamas Carnival 2025. We will be on the road June 4th through 10th. I think we're both heading out there earlier. So
Hmm.
we'll be experiencing some stuff. You guys can check us out inside the festival for the video series slash documentary where we will be going back over all of the events and activities. Stay tuned. Follow Bahamas Carnival Guide on Instagram and TikTok, as well as Playmass Today on Instagram and Africa La on TikTok to keep up with everything that's happening. Thank you so much, Dahlia. I can't wait to see you. We touch down really soon. My bags are packed. I'm packing my husband's bag now. I think I taken his with me so
I
he
am
don't pack
also,
no other stuff inside his bag. You say you're packing now?
yeah, yeah, I'm making piles. I don't know if anybody else is like me, but I make piles, and then I look at the piles, and then I uh, edit the piles, and I look at the outfits, and I make a spreadsheet of all the events, and I plan my outfits, and then I throw in a few extra things for the beach and for, the days that I'm not doing anything, and my work days really, because leading up to I will be busy working, getting ready for Juve and Last Wine, but um, make sure I have good footwear because it's like I said, it's not a sprint, it is a marathon, and I'm ready.
Well,
Sunscreen,
you said
passport. That's all I need.
sunscreen, passport, medicine.
Yeah.
Um I'm also, well, I don't know about that. I don't know about the piles. Normally, I just have a bunch of uniforms, right? I have a uniform, my my black playmat shirt, and I usually have about 10 of those. But this year is the year that I decided that I'm going to put on regular clothes and just have so I got a bunch of stuff with with the logos on it, like my dresses, tank tops, body tops, bodysuits, etc. So now it's like almost a fashion line. And so I had to find bottoms for these things. After last year experiencing the heat, I made sure that everything, like I went through all of my clothes and I had to find cotton clothing because I realized that these new sets of clothes are not cotton. They're cotton blends,
Hmm.
and it's less cotton than it is whatever. So I had to look for my 100% cotton stuff because a couple of years back, I bought some stuff from Old Navy and they were like the breathable eco-friendly clothing, and they are so cool. It's almost like wearing nothing. Found a lot of those. But yeah, but it's a I yeah, that's what I've packed and I'm like, okay. Well, like you said, nobody cares, right? I'm just
Mm-mm.
trying to say cool. Countdown is on. We are here. We are here. Touchdown. We'll see you guys inside the festival in Nassau, Bahamas. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in for the last few weeks. Thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. We look forward to joining you in Nassau, Bahamas for Bahamas Carnival Fete weekend. This weekend is brought to you, or this show has been brought to you in part by Bahamas Carnival Fete Weekend Collective, the print shop located at Commonwealth Plaza in Nassau, Bahamas, East Street South, and of course, to say